In the bustling city of Baghdad, there lived a wealthy merchant and his loyal servant. The marketplace was always alive with energy, merchants selling, customers bargaining, and life bustling with activity. One day, the merchant sent his servant on a simple errand to the bazaar. But when the servant returned, he was pale and trembling with fear. "Master," the servant cried, "while I was at the market, I bumped into a stranger. When I looked at his face, I realized it was Death. He made a threatening gesture at me." Terrified, the servant begged, "Please, master, let me take your fastest horse and flee to Samarra. I must put as much distance as I can between myself and death." The merchant, moved by the servant's fear, agreed. He gave him the swiftest horse and watched as the servant galloped away into the distance. Later that day, the merchant decided to visit the marketplace himself. As he wandered through the crowd, he spotted the figure the servant had described, Death. Summoning his courage, the merchant approached Death and asked, "Why did you frighten my servant this morning? Why did you make the gesture at him?" Death replied, "That was no threatening gesture. It was a start of surprise. You see, I was astonished to find him here in Baghdad." The merchant furrowed his brow. "Why would you be surprised to see him here? This is where he lives." Death gave a faint smile and said, "Because I have an appointment with him tonight, in Samarra." The merchant stood frozen, his mind racing. He realized the irony of his servant's attempt to escape. His very flight had led him to his destined encounter. That night, in Samarra, the servant met Death as foretold. No matter how far he ran, he could not escape his fate. This story reminds us that no one can outrun destiny. It is not a matter of where we go, but of accepting the inevitabilities of life. It is not fear or avoidance that gives us peace, but the wisdom to face life and death with courage and understanding. And so, the tale of the merchant and Death teaches us, run not from your fears, but embrace life fully, for every moment is part of the journey.